Hello, everybody. In today's episode, we're going to be discussing the 14th major arcana, archetype Temperance. In order for us to dive in and discuss it, we need to understand the term properly. Temperance is something, some type of balance, some form of balance, something modest, something in between, not too much, but not enough. You get what I'm saying? There is a reference to a perfect middle, if you will. It's called golden ratio. Temperance is something about the golden ratio. It's the ability of the practitioner to play with the elements and transform one thing into another. It's ultimately the transformation, but it's an ability to turn the lead into gold or turn any metal into gold, metaphorically speaking. This is something that alchemists from back in the days were always trying to achieve by studying the sacred texts, the ancient scrolls, and they were trying to manifest into physical some elements that will be much more valuable than the initial form. It's like diamond. Diamonds form under big pressure, and they're not what they are after all the processes they go through, right? We know that the diamond is a piece of coal that merely did well under the pressure. Same happens with people who practice the archetype Temperance or who know how to channel this energy. One of the ways to determine what is your archetype, and actually more in detail, I discuss it in the course for students of mine who learn on archetypal psychology course. They know all the tricks and secrets. But one of the ways to understand what is your archetype, what would be the archetype that's very close to you, and how you can channel it and how you can take the maximum benefit of it. It's going to be simple as your date of birth. If you're born from 1st to 22nd inclusively, because we have 22 major arcanas, 22 archetypes, then whatever number comes from 1st to 22nd will be your initial archetype. So if you're born on the 14th, for example, then you see as a number 14, that Temperance will be one of your abilities. You will be able to channel that energy. You will be able to find yourself in situations where you act like an alchemist. You turn lead into gold, if you know how. What about people who are born from 23rd until whatever number, until the 31st? There is an algorithm how to calculate it, and I describe more about it in the course. So the students who study at my course, they know. Nevertheless, let's go back to the description of the archetype Temperance. People always like to be safe. Like they don't want to change anything, right? Because safe zone, it's comfort zone. We want to know what's the weather going to be tomorrow. Should we bring the umbrella or not? How we're going to get to work, how much traffic is going to be on the way. We like to check everything, right? To be on the safe side. When we take a road trip, we want to know exactly how we're going to be proceeding, what kind of freeway we're going to take, where we're going to stop to charge the car if it's an electric car, or where we're going to get the gas and how much it's going to cost, and all that stuff. People like to predict because they want to play safe, because that's more reasonable, right? But what happens when we take exactly the same road to work every day? When we go to exactly the same grocery store every week? When we do a set of actions like a routine and it's always the same, we become very, very predictable to the system that we live in. And when you're predictable, it's much easier to control you, right? It's much easier to manipulate you, if you will. Temperance it's not an easy archetype to describe, to be honest with you, because our fool's journey started with the archetype 22. For those who watched from the very beginning, you guys will remember fool is a blank mind. Zero. When you understand nothing, when you know nothing, you have no experience, but you're open to receive the knowledge. And with every step further, you gain more and more and more and more. By the time we reach the 14 archetype temperance, we already have some sort of experiences, some kind of baggage. Temperance is also like a transition. Like, we're not, when we're born, we're not grown men or women that know everything, where we have the stages which we have to go through. First stage, it's a baby, it's an infant. Then infant turns into toddler. Toddler already learned a little bit of things, right? He or she already learned that it's dangerous to put your fingers on a hot something, on the stove, because you might get burned. And it's dangerous to do some stuff that hurt you before. So they already have a little bit more idea of what would be safe and not safe for them. After toddler, the person becomes a child, and after child, it's adolescent, and then it's a teenager, and then it's just a young lady, young man, and then we have the adulthood, and then we have the old man or woman. There is a stage, there is a ceiling that you reach in your development, and once you're outgrown, once you're too tall, you can't sit in that same container anymore because you're tall. You're already, above it. You have to go further. You can't stop at the same place. You cannot wear your old clothes because you outgrew it, right? When you're an older man or older woman, more mature woman, you cannot wear what you used to wear when you were going to school because your sizes grow bigger with your body becomes bigger and wider, right? When you learn how to multiply, you learn math, right, in school. Once you learn how to multiply, you can't unlearn it. It's just there. You can't unsee things that you already saw. You can't undo things that you already done. And that experience is the big value that allows everybody who wants to practice archetypes transform their life to the better. Always better, different areas of life. Experiences we gathered in the past form us who we are today and establish the path which will lead us to who we're going to become tomorrow, right? So as far as temperance, let's take a look at the glyphs. It's going to be easier to understand what this whole thing is about. We see the angel. Angel is pouring water from one cup into another. It's got a triangle on its chest. It's wearing white clothing. The background is light. It's kind of hard to see on this deck because it's a golden deck. I wish I would get you like a super classic one, but okay. So basically it's a light background. We got some red wings. We got the path that you're already familiar with from our archetype moon. If you remember the path, right? We have the meadows right here. We have the sunrise on the horizon. We have the flowers and we have the water, which angel is stepping with one of his foot. How do we make sense of it all? I'm not going to go into detail and describe you every single glyph. This is for those who study at the course. But I'm going to tell you about the most significant parts of it. Once the practitioner reaches the 14th level, the 14th archetype, one of the key signature features will be this golden disc. You see the golden disc in the middle of the forehead of the angel. It would be your third eye chakra. This will be the place where you start perceiving the world through different lenses. You can use both hemispheres of the brain, both logical and creative, the right and the left. Yet you form your own conclusion based on everything you gather, all the information you gather, absorb, analyze. And then you also add something to it. You add something of your own that makes the final outcome. And it's clear as day because you analyzed all the data you've gathered, you alchemized what you gain, and you added the main component, your intuition. The third eye has to work very, very impeccably here in order to be able to be an alchemist of your life. Water from one cup into another. The angel pours something and it turns into something else. There's a lot of reference in ancient scrolls and a lot of literature, and a so-called philosopher's stone that can make you, immortal and stuff like that. It's a lot of there's a lot of movies, there's a lot of books about it, and that's a real deal. It's not just a fairy tale. That's what alchemists were actually trying to do. And there is a path. An angel is not on that path anymore. It stays in the water. It can sweep you away. When you play too much with things you don't know about, you can get away from your main road, which you're supposed to take in life, right? Let's say you have a certain predestination. You're supposed to do certain type of mission on this earth, but you're not going that path because you would rather stay comfortable where you're at and do something else. And it leads you astray. So it's like a reminder, always follow what you need to follow your path. Don't let the comfort, the inertia, the desire to stay the same and not grow take you away from your initial plan that the universe has gotten for you. The water always signifies time. Time is an illusion. It's a lot of, it's, we're not going to go deep into esoterics right here, but time, it's that thing that nobody has power of, because the time passes by. Like money, you can make money, you can spend them, you can make them again. Man-made mechanism, right? But the time, you can't control it in any way, because the time passes, that's it, it's done. However, there are certain practices that allow you to create your own timelines. And for this, we're going to discuss it further in further videos, not here. We're not there yet. What are the flowers? The flowers behind represent, like, basically you reap what you sow. What you put in, that's the outcome that you're going to get. Somebody gets the garden full of beautiful flowers with beautiful scent that attracts a lot of birds and insects, and somebody has just weeds all over the place. The angel has the wings. The wings are of a red color. Red color is our root chakra, the base, the fundamental, but also the wings that are spread out. It means that you have to spread out your consciousness. You can't be only stuck on animal instincts and live your life like the caveman, right? You got to get yourself out of the cave and start questioning. What is this? Where am I? What kind of universe am I living in? And so on and so forth. The clothing on the angel also represents the sublime bodies. There's a Russian doll with a twist. That doll contains another doll inside, and there is another one that's smaller, and there is another one that's smaller, and there is another one that's smaller. It's like a lot of dolls in one dolls. It's called matryoshka. So matryoshka is a good example of our sublime bodies and how they're connected with chakras. Let's start with the basic. Our basic red chakra, it's called root chakra. It is connected with our physical body, the physical body that we can touch, that we can see, that's very that's very tangible. Then our second chakra, which is orange, it all goes by the rainbow colors, like it's easy to remember. Orange chakra is connected with our etheric body. How you can test it, because a lot of people will be thinking, what are you talking about? What kind of etheric body? Because if you don't see it, it doesn't mean it's not there. It's there. Simple test. Put your arms together, start making the movements back and forth, closer, further, closer, further, closer, further, closer, further. You start having the heat. Eventually, there's going to be some temperature change between your palms. This is how you can feel the etheric body. Everybody can do it. It's very, very simple exercise. Just takes a few minutes. Then we have our yellow chakra of power of will, yellow color. It's called solar plexus. It's connected with our astral body. And it goes like the doll that I described, smaller doll, bigger, and it gets bigger and bigger. Then we have our heart chakra, green color chakra. It's connected with our mental body. Then we have the blue chakra, the throat chakra. It's connected with our cause and effect, causal body, right? The body of cause and effect. Then we have Ajna, which is the third eye, which is the indigo color chakra, and it's connected with our body. And the very last one, considered purple, but can be white as well. That's the chakra that connects us with the spirit, and it's connected with the Atman body. I wanted to show you another version. Designer deck, as I like to call them. It's a really beautiful deck. It's the Tarot of the Night. And this is like a, let me cover up her breast, so I don't want YouTube to have any problems with it. That's a Temperance version for the designer. Beautiful lady. She's with a goblet. She's with some kind of a vessel that has the water, the time, the lotus. Lotus takes time to grow. It grows from the mud, literally from the mud. One of the most beautiful flowers on earth. And it's like a circle, everlasting circle of life. There's so much more that can be described, but I cannot give you out all the information on the YouTube. It's reserved for people who want to study tarot profoundly, more in depth, and who actually want to turn it into income. It's not a divination, like people who don't know think. It's not just a prediction of future mechanism. There's no such thing as future. It did not happen yet. There's so many options to it, how we can navigate it, how we can change it. It's a really big, deep psychological instrument to better all your areas of life. So for everybody who is interested in studying tarot and archetypes and possibly turn it into income, I'm so gladly inviting all of you guys to embark on this journey with no return. And since it's Halloween time, since it's the season of the witch, I'm gladly giving off 50%. 50% off for everybody who gets enrolled. It's limited time offer, but this one I want to do, and I think you will absolutely adore to be a part of it. And add another beautiful instrument in the box, of which you already know about this life, about this universe, and watch your life transform to the better. All areas of it, literally. All information will be down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please send the video to your friends, to your like-minded friends who are into tarot, into astrology, into psychology, into all the good stuff. And I'll see you on another video. Thank you.